I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are back with Mob Psycho, the start of a new season, Season 3. It has been so long. Obviously, I'm joking. We just finished Season 2 yesterday. And I love this show.
He could not be more excited.
This is one of my favorite anime I have ever watched, and I am still, I haven't had time to come down from any amount of, giddiness and hype. I'm just
we're
oh my
still
god,
immersed.
Mob Psycho. Yeah, exactly.
I think we're literally still in this universe, and I thank us watching the show yesterday for that. I think this experience for starting this new season is going to be amazing.
I agree with you. I think that at the end of Season 1, I had a pretty decent guess at what route the show would take, that being Claw. I don't know what to expect going forward here. I think that my best guess might be Mogami at some point, maybe Suzuki, but I don't know, he seemed like he was going on a good character arc, morally. So I don't really know what to expect from the next, 12, 13 episodes. It's what we usually get.
I think I'll agree with you for Suzuki. It felt like a retiring of that character as a villain to have that kind of ending scene of him walking away and Serizawa and Sho being there to see him off and the talk about Sho's mom. It definitely did feel like a goodbye to at least that character as prominent and a villain.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, just going forward, obviously I'm going to expect the same quality we've gotten in regards to animation, art style. The whole series has felt like a really big passion project to me, and that's what I'm really excited for going forward. This show has had an emotional grip on me. I don't know, it does emotions in a really great way that resulted and culminated in some of the best character development I've seen in an anime, which was just Mob's character throughout the first and then mainly the second season, and how much he grew as a person.
He was pushing himself to change. I mean, throughout the first season and the second season, his goal was to live his life for himself and to make his own choices, even if they are hard. And now it seems like, at least from the final episode, his goal might be confessing and telling the person that he likes them.
Maybe that's the lead up. Maybe that's the final boss battle this season.
It's like working up your self-confidence enough to be able to put your heart on the line. That would be amazing. They
could do the whole battle formula and lead up to it, but no actual fighting, and just the conversation with Tsubomi and confession. Right when he starts talking, you hear the creaking noise in the background before something big happens in the show.
In retrospect, it's very funny that we thought that she was a part of Claw in Season 1.
Yes. I don't know. I'm still on board.
Tsubomi is the ultimate villain.
Yeah.
She's gonna break Mob's heart or something. I really hope not.
Even if she does, he has a lot of arms and muscular arms to fall back onto.
And then they're gonna lift him up. Oh, repeatedly lift him up.
Yep. Last episode, I ended off in such a weird place because some of it felt like a fever dream after the fight, but some of it but it resulted in the scars losing their scars. It resulted in a mass healing.
Don't most fever dreams start with giant vegetables?
Maybe.
I think so.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Hey guys, just letting you know, first episode of Full Length is going to be available to everybody for first episode of the new season. Thank you, Blind Wave, for the idea. Okay. I'm comfortable here. Oh. We know a decent amount of them now. Look, Johto, the king. Shinra. Mogami. New intro. This is so good.
So good.
This is taking my favorite parts of both the first two intros and putting them together. Whoa! Yeah.
Do those exist?
みんなちゃんと考えてるんですね。
He needs to get into the same school.
Did we know Tsubomi did Trek? Last season we worked out our arm muscles. This season we work out our brain muscle.
Well, you do have Serizawa now.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, where is he?
なんでやろうと思った自分には稀有な特殊能力がだいたい極めちまっててな挑戦しようと思ったんだよ自分で事務所も開いて師匠はすごいですねなあな終わりましたおうっていちいち全茂雄くんお疲れ様です
Aww.
どうも
Still kind of miss his hair.
正式採用されたからといっても客対応をよーく見て頑張りますレーゲン師匠の方が年下なのに
Oh, that is not a good decision. Do not buy things from your travels from antique shops.
ちなみにいくらで購入されました？3円です。高っ。霊的なものは一切感じない。師匠、それ以上触らない方がいいですよ。
Feels good.
嫌なものが渦巻いてますけど、多分このままにしておくとこう危ないと思います。やっぱりお祓いしときましょう。上のカフェでお待ちいただけますか？はい。
There's a new cafe.
モブの見解は芹沢、お前はどうだ？かなり凶悪な呪われた置物にしか見えない。なぜそれを言わずにぼーっと見てた？大問題だったぞ。
It was just a test.
お前が俺の間違いテストしてたんだよ。ルーキーだからここは多めに見よう。挽回してみるか。一人で払ってみる。はい。
What a merciful boss.
I know. Letting him learn from his own mistakes too.
どうだ、モブ。芹沢さんの力強いですよ。
Look at his little smile.
よくやったぞ。さっきの衝撃で8万円の置物が借金に
Glue.
待て。安心しろ。一体何を
Does
He's so skilled.
米粒の潜在能力殺技である。
I wonder how often this one gets used.
この瞬間、芹沢は底知れない実力
Of
に
course he
感
was.
動しさを知ったという。進路希望を提出しないといけないんだけど。
Where's Dimple?
10年近くあるんだから、とりあえずサラリーマンで
ことを探すのもいいんじゃないかな。そういうマジシャンとか。もういいじゃねえか。
Dimple.
適当に書いとくだけでも変わるんだからよ。
It doesn't really matter what you write down right now.
相変わらず嘘がつけねえやつだな。
どうするの？
悪霊に将来を聞くのか。なあちゅ。
ごめん。
あ、待てよ。何か。忘れてたぜ。
進路希望。卒業したら将来は継ぐことになるかもしれん。もういいよ、進めてくるけど。
Rank 2!
俺は動物が好きだから。
Oh!
なるって決めてるんだよ。
My heart!
おだってめなんて言うんだよ。満見のある驚愕隊って言ってただろう。
He's the most realistic character. You could also be a farmer.
先日のテロ事件、天災に乗じた町嵐だと思っているようだ。世界の存亡をかけた戦いが繰り広げられて、悪の軍団をやっつけたけど。
Is that what Bob looks like in her head?
Yes. That's what it looks like in my head. I don't see the issue.
あれにモブ君が関係してることはもう分かってんのよって呼ばれ始めてる。シン
さんが前に言ってた。
最高ヘルメット教師がいいわね。その通りよ。本当にすごい。クラスメートにこんながいたなんて、私の人生を振り返ったことになるかもって。
将来決めてる？
のカメラマンかな。ジャーナリストよ。
きっとね。
She never gives up. It'll be good for
も
her.
っともっと大きな見た目の大きさとかじゃないよ。肉体改造部に入部したこととか。
どこが大きな出来事よ。
目里さんの言うことだって変わらないよ。
じゃあモブ君は将来どうすんの？
Are we gonna follow Mob through all adult life, like job searching, trying to find a content place to work with?
の霊能者に掛け合ってみたが会うことはできなかった。いると思われます。
I think it's just that he's a hoarder.
ちなみに
One
具体的にどのような原因？肩が重いのと悲しるのに虫歯になったのも機械だ。バイトをクビになったのも悪霊のせいだ。撫でていないのに言いがかりにも逃げられました。だから態度が急変してまるで増えたのもありますね。山はゴミじゃない、私の財産だ。囲まれてると安心して眠れるんです。この写真はやんちゃしてた頃の。もともとお前ら強力なお祓い道具をもう人生おしまいなのでしょう。どうでしょうか。親とは20代で死に別れ、手に職もない。この気持ちよくわかります。このままなのかなって。どうなっちゃうんだろうって。
Maybe Reagan should not have left.
だな。
I think he's creating it.
490円がいった苦手だからな。これでゴミ屋敷の方か。
Oh my god, it's like hypnosis.
Have they been planting these seeds since the beginning? Because the mouth is in the openings for season 2.
No need to worry. It worked.
あ、師匠。悪霊が出てきちゃってんだよ。あれじゃ力が
It's an interesting thing to introduce. This is awesome. This is so cool to see them work together. Mob Psycho is Marie Kondo.
どうした芹沢、気持ち悪いのか？
何も持ってない。
人生まだ折り返してもいねえだろう。出るなら早めに気づけてラッキーじゃねえか。僕も今は他人事に聞こえない。お前も失敗をまだしていないだけで、いつかその瞬間が訪れるかも。
We've been talking about that for so long.
自分の道を選ぶのが芹沢さんは大丈夫だと思い、いろんな人の話が聞けるし、将来的な目標を持っていた方が見つけないと苦労するかもな。ゆっくりと一人旅がしたいと思うようになった。での影山を見る限り大丈夫かな。旅人っていうのもいいかもしれません。その名が心配だぞ先生は。
I'm very okay with that.
進路希望は霊とか相談所じゃないと思って。そうか。ここは
He accepted that better than I
I'm
thought he
so
would.
happy he did.
僕はこのまま年齢だけが大人になってしまう。
Oh.
Wow.
する約束はできません。あんなの冗談に決まってんだろ。これからやりたいことなんていくらでも見つかるな。なんでこの相談所だが、本当はな、会社に飽きてただの思いつきでこの相談所をやめようかと思ってたんだけどな。
But then you appeared.
紆余曲折あちは単なる思いつきだったけど、今はやりたいことになくたっていいし、お前は生きればいいんだ。ペーゲン師匠。
Dimple? No.
Is he gonna possess the broccoli?
俺様の時代。
No, Dimple.
Okay, that was Mob Psycho Season 3, Episode 1. I have a lot to say.
Ooh, go ahead and say it then.
So,
Speak your truth.
the first thing that comes to mind is at the end of the episode, but, so we can go through, like, how the episode progressed, you know, start to finish, so I'll touch on that later. But the thing I want to say from the get-go is, for some reason, I'm very attached to this series, and for some reason, since I heard that there was going to be a season 3 while I was in the middle of season 2, I started being afraid and scared because there have been a few shows that I like or have heard of that had been ongoing and then got a recent season or a season made during the time of the pandemic or just in recent years, and it, for one reason or another, couldn't hold up to the same type of art style or quality of animation. And unfortunately, that can affect me as a viewer, and that's a fault of my own. But watching that finished work and to just see right off the bat, season 3, episode 1, the art looks better than ever. Like, the characters are true to design. The colors are great. The shading's great. Like, I was just really happy to be here right from the start of the episode.
I felt completely immersed and just immediately right back into it. It did a good job at, I would say that's one of, like, the pluses to this show, is they do a really great job at first episodes of seasons to, like, get you back into the storyline and where we currently are and the emotions we're feeling, and getting you excited and me excited.
I loved the intro, which is another thing that I was like,
I want to watch it so many times.
Dude, I know, me too. I want to watch it again right now. But that was another thing. It's like, those are big shoes to fill, you know? And they managed to do it, and I loved it.
I mean, it's always been, like, really loud.
Yeah.
In, like, a amazing way. But this was, like, epic. Like, it kind of felt like it was the first song played at the concert by, like, the leading band, you know, to get everyone in the audience being like, yeah, we're here to see this band, and this is their, like, banger, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it felt, that, like, opening.
For me, it felt like it was the first opening mixed with the second opening, like, to a perfect degree. And, like, it, like, kind of went with the whole idea and theme of emotions and laying more heavy into the show and how weird it gets in that way.
And, like, things are so consistently tying into one another. Like, the openings from season 1 and season 2 had elements that we never saw in those particular seasons, but then, and images, and then we see them later on, and that's the same thing with that first opening, kind of spirits and, you know, evil spirits opening, where it shows the different psychics and introduces kind of the theme of the world we're in. And we are learning who each of those psychics are slowly but surely in that beginning. And it replays for each season. And it's so exciting to, like, see that same repeated image, but know, like, oh my gosh, okay, we've met those two in season 1, and then we met those two in season 2, and now I wonder when we're gonna meet the other one.
We're getting something new out of it every time, which is nice.
Yes.
So, like, starting the episode, we had, I guess, just like a pretty decent reintroduction to the characters, reminding us that Serizawa is working there. He's also psychic, you know, giving some goofs and gaffs to us, but then it quickly turns into that whole career side of things, which I'd say is a pretty realistic next step for Mob as a character to face.
Think about his future.
Yeah.
He's already decided how he wants to be living as himself within himself, and how he's seen by others, but then life choices and important decisions, It's something he said in his battle with Suzuki at the very end of last season, that there are important choices to be made, and this is one of those crossroads. You know, he sees all the paths in front of him, and he's scared to make a mistake.
Yeah, he now has people to talk to about it too. Like, he has so many friends and people to talk to about their own futures, to get an idea, and just if they know what they're doing, to see if Mob's the only one who doesn't know, if it's okay. Hey, I mean, I know for sure when I was getting ready to go to college myself, I was like, there were a lot of people who knew exactly what they were going to do, and I wasn't really sure. Like, I was like, there's nothing, is something wrong with me? There should be something sticking out to me that I should go to, you know?
Or you're the type of person who goes into it with a path in mind, and then they end up never doing the thing that they went to school for.
And it's funny that it even affected Dimple, the idea of what you're going to do.
What are you doing with your future? He's like, you're asking an evil spirit that? That's ruthless.
But we saw it ourselves that Dimple did have a plan going forward a while
that was
ago.
His goal.
And to us, like, we haven't forgotten about it. I don't think he actually did, but
it definitely wasn't in the forefront of his mind anymore.
Yeah.
Because he was so focused on what is Shigeo up to and kind of Shigeo's life. It's like he realized in that moment that his entire life can't just be, ooh, which girl is Shigeo talking to right now?
Yeah.
You know, that can't be his whole life or his whole afterlife.
I don't know if this is actually trying to tell me to expect Dimple as some serious type of foe, but if it does go in that direction, part of me thinks it's just a thing that Dimple's trying to come to terms with too. Mm-hmm. That being what is he without Mob now? You know?
I think he might take advantage of, Misato kind of put it into play with proclaiming the broccoli as part of the Psycho Helmet religion's icon doing this.
Yeah.
And I think Dimple might take advantage of this giant broccoli and kind of put himself forward as being the person that created it.
Yeah.
Or the spirit that created it in order to get that attention that he was getting before. But I don't see that as being horribly malicious.
I agree. Do you think that it seems like we built like a carnival around the broccoli? Do you think that any governing state has started to monetize like broccoli rides? Do we have like broccoli themed t-shirts?
A roller coaster going through the broccoli?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not like trying to eat it.
Yeah.
No one has tasted it and said how horrible it tasted, and I'm surprised by that.
It would taste horrible. We know that. What'd you think of the last bit?
Do you mean the man that had created the wraith above his house?
Yeah.
I liked it because I think that it is awesome to have both evil spirits and the idea of haunted things and things like that, like otherworldly kind of explanations for things, and then to have kind of the psyche of the man, you know, creating this thing. We've already seen like more subtle examples of that. I would say that this wraith was definitely more powerful than the guy that was peeping on his neighbor.
Yeah.
But I like that you have both of those things because it definitely shows that even if this person can't directly do psychic things like telekinesis or anything like Mob can do, the power of the mind is even a normal non-psychic person is scary.
Yeah. Did you like the idea, like, okay, so last season we had two things playing, which was the plants and the leaving your own body and like what would you call it? Leaving like your like.
Oh my gosh, what is it called? Out of body experience.
Yeah.
It wasn't an out of. That's not the word.
It was that happening though,
yeah.
Like projecting yourself or whatever. We had both of those things come back later into the season. Do you think that this wraith thing will come back?
I think it's safe to say any of those things, curses, all of those things. It's safe to say will probably maybe come back. Probably maybe. Did
you see what I pulled up on the screen?
Yeah, you pulled up. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
You pulled up what is outside of the broccoli now.
It's Mob.
It's Mob's face. Yeah.
It's great. I love it. The moment that I'm really trying to look for right now, though, that I can't remember for the life of me what part of the episode it is, was talking about to like. What I had written down was, again, in this show, we're alluding to Mob's introspection of him causing something, of something to happen.
I think it was when he was thinking about all of the paths that are in front of him that he could take.
Do you remember where that
and not wanting to
was?
make a big mistake. I believe it was right after they left the man's house, and he was telling Reagan and Serizawa that he also related to the man.
Okay, we can check here.
Yeah, here it is.
Yes, it was here. Okay, good call. Because this was something I totally wanted to talk about because it's something that we've heard time and time again from Mob. And like like, he's aware of it. It's very hard to be aware of your own self-destructive tendencies, and Mob totally is. It hit too close to home for him. He said that he just hasn't made a huge mistake yet, but that moment may arrive someday.
And a huge mistake on Mob scale could be world-ending.
Well, like, last episode, very early on, I believe, we had the whole Mob thinking if he ever chose to go down the wrong path, who would be there to stop him? And we obviously have him smiling during the fight and having to be reminded of and not get lost in that power by looking at Ritsu. We have his memory with Ritsu and what he did after he went unconscious. Like, I wonder if they're setting us up for that inevitability of him having to be stopped or come to fight what he's scared of. You know?
Part of me feels a little bit safer in that regard, with the fact that Sho's father is still alive.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if Sho's father hadn't been driven to the point of losing control because he was so motivated in his goals with what he was doing, I think he could be a good kind of battle partner to a Mob that's losing control.
Yeah.
I also think that it's possible that Ritsu could grow to be somewhat of like the person that keeps Mob, even keel, balanced.
I think that they could write it going forward with it either being a big moment for Dimple, or it could be Mogami coming back. I just
wrote down Mogami on my paper. I mean, Mogami is not gone. Mogami is definitely not gone.
Mogami could be a person, if Mob was ever on the edge about to lose himself, being like, I actually did have like faith in you after seeing the strength that you're showing, like, don't lose now.
Yeah,
or it could be the opposite. It could be trying to be the thing to push him over, and Dimple saves him.
We don't know what Mogami's exact desires are at this point at the moment. But I do think that it can be said that Mogami is intrigued by Mob and whatever choices Mob might make, and if Mob walks down the same path,
he's watching.
He's observant to this.
One other thing I wanted to touch on, again, very protective of the show, and I love it. And just like, I don't know if protective is the right word. I want it to keep being as good as I see it, and like it being as like perfect, and be like I just love seeing it be as good as I know it is. And the way that they handled the end of the episode, it would have been such a backtrack if Reagan acted any other way. It would have undone all of the growth that it's not that deep, but like it would have hurt a little bit to see Reagan not respond in the way that he did after the Reagan and Mob episodes from last season.
I think it needed them to go through their separation, and I think Serizawa being there also really helps with Reagan handling that well.
I'm scared where Dimple's going, though. They obviously made a choice with how little and where they decided to use his character, but in this episode. But yeah, I'm excited for next week.
Me too. I'm really excited.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.